He was told his body would never grow enough to be a professional athlete. 19 years later, he was holding the biggest trophy in football. This is how a boy who was almost too small to play the game became the greatest of all time. In 1987, in a working-class neighborhood in the city of Rosario, Argentina, a boy was born who was, by every measure, too small for the game he loved.
His name was Lionel Messi, and from the moment he could walk, a ball was glued to his feet.
He grew up in a football-obsessed family, playing alongside his older brothers and cousins in the street, always the smallest one on the pitch.
By age 8, he had joined a local club's youth team, and coaches immediately noticed something impossible to teach: his balance, his instinct, his vision.
But at 11 years old, doctors delivered devastating news. Lionel had a hormone deficiency that meant his body might simply stop growing. The treatment he needed was expensive, and his family, along with his local club, simply couldn't afford it. So his family made an enormous decision. They left everything behind in Argentina and moved across the ocean to Spain, chasing one single chance. A famous academy in Barcelona agreed to sign him, but only if he could prove himself immediately. There was no time to waste and no contract yet in place. With no paper available, the club's director famously wrote the agreement on a simple paper napkin, sealing the deal with a handshake.
Life in the academy dormitory was lonely at first. A new language, a new culture, and family thousands of miles away.
Every day he received injections to help his body grow, sticking with the treatment through years of discomfort with quiet determination. On the pitch, though, size stopped mattering completely. His low center of gravity and close control made him nearly impossible to stop. By 16, he was already training with the senior professional squad, the youngest player to reach that level in the club's modern history.
His official debut came at just 17, and from that moment, defenders across the world began to fear a player they could barely lay a hand on.
Season after season, he broke goal-scoring records that experts believed would stand forever, all while playing with a style that looked more like art than sport. He won the sport's most prestigious individual award again and again, a record number of times, cementing his place among the greatest to ever play.
Yet for years, one prize stayed just out of reach: a title with his home country's national team. The one trophy critics said he needed to be called the greatest ever. In 2021, he finally won a major title with his national team, and something shifted. Years of pressure began to lift off his shoulders. Then in 2022, at 35 years old, in what many assumed was his final chance, he led his country all the way to the biggest final in football.
After a match full of twists, heartbreak, and drama, his team finally won, and Lionel Messi lifted the one trophy that had eluded him his entire career. From a small boy in Rosario who was told his body might never grow, to lifting the biggest trophy in world football, his story became proof that size was never the true measure of greatness. Heart, patience, and an unshakable love for the game took a boy who was once told he was too small and turned him into the greatest player of his generation. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Onside, because every legend has a moment they were told they weren't enough, right before they proved everyone wrong.